A career first 5-star World Cup win leading to a career first participation in the Longines FEI Jumping World Cup Finals in Fort Worth, Texas. What a weekend for Mimi Gochman. What a weekend also for Doha and for Qatar. A historical €1.5 million Grand Prix in the desert. And in the very same desert, on the very same day, the Longines League of Nations season got kicked off in Abu Dhabi. So much to talk about. But first, the quick strides presented by UVEX. Sweden's Peder Fredriksson will be sidelined for several weeks after fracturing his sternum, an injury he says is most likely related to a previous injury. The sternum or breastbone is the flat bone in the center of the chest that connects the ribs. A fracture there is extremely painful and makes riding nearly impossible as every movement of the upper body causes discomfort. The 54-year-old, 5-time Olympian and 2017 European champion announced the news himself on social media last Tuesday. Fredriksson will miss a home show, the Gothenburg Horse Show, which includes a World Cup qualifier and takes place this week. McLean Ward's partner Imperial HBF has died at the age of 13 after being humanely euthanized Tuesday following a severe episode of colic. Despite 2 surgeries and every possible effort by owner Michael Smith, McLean Ward himself and a devoted veterinary team, the difficult decision was made that the kindest choice was to let him go. The Dutch warm blood gelding was bred by Laura Tinto at HBF Stud in Glasgow and was previously ridden by Britain's Tim Gradley before joining Ward's string in March 2025. Their partnership, though brief, was highly successful. They were part of US Nations Cup teams that won Rome and Aachen and placed 3rd in the Rolex Grand Prix of La Baule. Beerbaum Stables has acquired the 12-year-old Holsteiner Mastermind RL for Philipp Weishaupt. The gelding by Malord Carthago out of an Alcatraz mare has been recently turning heads with Torben Kulbrand. Mastermind RL was bred by Rasmus Luneburg, the brother of multiple Hamburg Derby winner Nisse Luneburg. The gelding was successfully campaigned by Torben Kulbrand in Grand Prix up to meter 60 level. After selling Zinedee and retiring Kobe, and with Oreo DR being his main mount on the winter tour and with 5-star Grand Prix winner Kilmister not competing since October last year, this is a very welcome addition to Philipp Weishaupt's string of horses. Ireland's Daniel Coyle has retired his long-time partner Legacy, the 16-year-old Zangetheide mare by Chippendale Z out of a Bonami mother. Owner Ariel Grange announced the news last weekend. Legacy was bred by Romain Roti in Belgium and produced by their sisters Annelies and Marlene Vorstelmans. Under Coyle, she represented Ireland at 2 European Championships, the 2022 World Championships where they individually placed 10th, and the 2024 Paris Olympics. In the 2023-2024 World Cup season, she had an incredible run, finishing 3rd in the London World Cup, where she also won the Grand Prix. Next, she won Amsterdam as well as Leipzig. And now, Legacy will be retired, with a possible breeding career ahead. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Horse Show. We are going to celebrate horses like Legacy who retire from the sport, but we also celebrate riders who return to the sport for the 2nd time already. What a great comeback again, and welcome to the show. We're happy that you're back riding Joe Clee.
Thank you very much. That's a nice intro.
That's a nice intro again, no?
Super. Love it, yeah.
We've got some images. You're back riding. You rode stallion competition. Yeah, let's bring up those images with the stallions. 5-year-olds even? 6-year-old. There you go.
6 years old, yeah.
Ambassador,
yeah. Love it.
Again, your blood, because he's a son of...
Agonix. Yeah, I'd only come out of retirement for an Agonix. That lovely horse.
Yeah, happy with it?
Yeah.
Jump clear?
Yeah, I just took an easy one to make myself look good.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Olivier Philippaerts, 2nd time that you visit the horse show. You planning on retiring or?
I'm far away from retiring, I can tell you that. No.
You've been quiet over the last two, not quiet at 5-star level, let's say, but you haven't been quiet at all.
Well, I didn't feel I have the right horsepower to jump 5 stars, so I actually have to Mechelen and I said I'll give them some time off. And I think I've gathered a couple of new horses, a few I think very promising.
Okay.
So I'm just doing some small shows. I'm going to Sunshine too in March, and then I go to Miami and Mexico. So hopefully I've got some new horses going up to 5-star level.
That sounds cool.
I think the rebuild sometimes is important, and it freshens your mind up as well. You know, I think every rider needs that from time to time.
Yes, and of course it's amazing to jump 5-star shows. You have the right horses quality. I love to compete every week, but then also when I have the feeling I have to try to build something new, it's better just to keep it a couple of weeks quiet and do something else that at least I can know I probably can be stronger in a couple of months' time.
Yeah, and you're so competitive. I mean, when you go to the 5-star shows, you want to win. You know?
Yeah,
you got to go with the right stuff.
Don't want to sit in the plane for 12 hours to go and up pulls down. No.
If you want to go to Ocala, by the way, that would take you 12 hours to fly there. The World Equestrian Center hosted the final World Cup qualifier on the North American League. Actually, we placed this show first in our show, but it was the show with the most beautiful fences of the entire weekend. We've got a beautiful compilation of all those fences. Here, the Golden Dogs. There's the Flamingos. Very colorful, beautifully decorated arena. I mean,
there's a lot of problems as well. I don't think the riders love that jump.
No, at all. The stars. And there's later on, there's the van, there's in the jump-off, we'll see the American flag. Also a very strong field. 4 riders from the top 10, 6 more from the top 30. Half of the field came from the top 100. So actually, in terms of pure rider and horsepower, that was the competition to watch. And Bernardo Costa Cabral also treated it as such. Really tight time allowed. Got even extended after the first 3 riders from 74 to 76, and still some riders had difficulties with the time allowed. Let's bring up a few of those. Catherine Murray, new combination at the level with Magnum Z. Actually, I think it's by Messenger. That was a really cool horse to watch.
Yeah, it was nice, really nice round, actually.
Yeah. And then,
Timefall.
how good, it was Charlotte Murray, by the way, apologies. How good was this horse?
Amazing.
Yeah, out of the blue with Katie Dinan.
Yeah, and I have to say, the time looked good. When I watched the round, I was very surprised she had a time fall. I wasn't expecting it at all. You know, she rode all the right numbers. She was pushing in the right places.
She had Sweetenham, James Can Cruz.
It's also, if you see this horse and the last one, horses that are big jumpers.
Yeah.
They lose a bit of time on the jump. Makes a big difference in the question time allowed. Yeah.
Yeah. Especially with the one of Katie Dinan.
Yeah.
Jumped really high, jumped really powerful, electric. So 3 went clear without jumping penalties. Lots of big names with 4 penalties. Here is a group of them. In that group, not only André Thieme with Polo, who, by the way, André Thieme also competed Chakaria in the meter 55 classes there. Aaron Vale, for him it was an important weekend to qualify for the World Cup final. There is Daniel Coyle, who retired legacy, but here with incredible. Your brother.
There he is.
Gadget.
Nicolas Philippaerts.
My favourites.
McLean with Jordan Mulga.
That jumped a very good round as well. Yeah. I think it was one of the first times he's ridden it, isn't it?
First time at meter 60, McLean with
What a great horse. Always loved the horse. When I was already in Europe before, I think it's a super horse. I really like it.
Lovely expression, way of doing it,
Yeah.
It's nice. It's exciting to see. I think he's riding it to get ready for, to try to get ready for the final.
Yeah, World Cup final. Yeah. Would be, because I don't know in the end if he collected enough points to be there. We are going to watch it at the end. It's a very good remark. Another horse that we have to watch is Highway. Lily Keenan was on the show a few weeks ago. She said, yeah, maybe by the end of the winter season, I'll jump up in a 5-star Grand Prix. That was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, well, we're coming too close to the end, I guess. Fantastic, lovely round. And I think he really fits her, you know? It's a different style of riding, and I think the horse really appreciates that. Not to take anything away from Willem, but a little bit lighter, a little bit more up to the front rail, and you see the horse kind of enjoying it, I think.
I love horsehead. I think it really suits also her way of riding. I think I wouldn't be surprised that she's going to be somehow in a top 3 in a 5-star Grand Prix anytime soon. I think she did a great job getting the horse in her stable, and it was a great pick for her, I have to say.
Yeah. It was a gutsy move to take it over from Willem, but it worked perfectly.
And also now Willem, the horse is unbelievable in the flat work, knows everything, the control is right. She just hops on, goes to the ring and wins. So, I mean, looks great.
I think for the horse as well, having a new rider's freshened him up somehow. He looks again.
He looks
happy to go. Yeah.
Not that he didn't look happy with Willem, but
but good.
He enjoys it. Let's head straight over to the jump-off, shall we? Because we had a round of, I think it was 40 in the first round. And in the end, only 4 went through to the jump-off. And the first one to go, in the end, turned out to be the winner. Mimi Gochman. Mimi Gochman with Iron Maiden.
Cool horse.
Did anybody know this horse?
No, I didn't know it, but really cool. And she's a lovely rider, you know, credit to I mean, they've obviously done well with the training.
Yeah.
She's got a lovely position on the jump.
She only has it for half a year. Came from Roberto Terran.
For Roberto Terran. Yes, now I know the horse. Yes, Roberto Terran. I do have to say, the girl is riding so good for the moment. And she was a bit lucky over there. But I have to say, they also managed to buy the right horses for her. Suit her well. Yeah, I'd say we're going to see her pretty soon in some American Nations Cups for America. I think she'll definitely be on the team anytime soon. That was fast, the last jump.
I think they needed her this week, for sure.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that in a minute. In the end, that turned out to be the winning round. The original name was Cadans van het IJzeren Lindenhof. Was bred in Belgium, actually. Cadans. He is by Clarimo, Kashmir, and then the good Verdi mare, Ibel Ask of Yuri Mansour. Okay. Remember I jumped World Equestrian Games?
Yes,
Fine.
super good horse, very scopy.
And it was produced here or it was produced out there?
This is Ibel. It was produced, it was a Spanish rider who had it as a 6-year-old here in Europe, but then went to the States and from there moved to Roberto Terran.
Very scopy
This
horse.
is that Ibel, yeah.
Also more and more Climos. We see more and more good ones. We have seen a few in our stables also. They are very careful, a lot of blood. Yeah, good jumpers. I like Clarimo. Yeah, himself, he was also a good jumper. Didn't stay in the sport for very long, but looks like it's a very good producer as well. Yeah.
Here comes Eduardo de Menezes. He's on H5 Ozzy de Bisschop.
Love this guy's riding. So stylish.
Every time. When is
guy. Good rider also.
I wish I was that tall and skinny.
You're that skinny,
I don't think so.
but you're not as tall.
Not as stylish, that's for sure.
Was actually the jump off someone quicker than Mimi?
No, I don't think they were.
Because if I watch the jump off, somehow they look quite fast, but I think Mimi's horse is so fast over the ground. It looked much faster than it is, much faster than I thought it looked in the beginning.
Yeah, but she did a very smooth round. I think it was deceptively quick. Yeah,
the last part, she was very fast at the last jump. She took one less.
And I think also he did a bit the same numbers, but obviously it takes him a bit longer.
The horse is way slower also, yeah.
Slow ground.
Hilary Scott with a 19-year-old, homebred, bred in Australia.
And the results that horse has had in the last years. It must be a real proud feeling to breed one, homebred, produce it, everything with it. I mean, how well do they know each other?
I mean, if you're European, you're proud to breed such a horse.
Oh, amazing.
In the heart of breeding industry, if you're Australian and you breed such a horse, that's just...
And they came over and bought the mother, didn't they?
Yeah.
Imported the mother, and then this was the first one she bred.
Yeah.
Wow. Doesn't easily get better.
And I think she bred 2 more at the level.
Yeah. I remember when I saw the young horse, I actually asked her about it.
That was unlucky.
Looked like I saw a good, but it was not possible to buy. But I mean, what a grace horse has been for her.
Yeah.
So careful, scopy, and has jumped in the biggest shows in the world.
Yeah.
Championships, everything,
Yeah.
So a quick quiz. So I thought to myself, this has to be the most successful Australian-bred show jumper that the world has ever seen. And it isn't. Do you know, and this is a trick question, it's not really a trick question, but do you know which is the most successful Australian warm-blood show jumper?
Could be wrong.
Oh, but if you know this one...
Was the grey one from Phil Lever was riding it.
That one was also from Australia, that's correct. But then I was thinking about the chestnut one from Rowan Willis.
Blue Movie.
Was that from Australia? I'm wrong?
No, that was from England.
England.
It's the Phil Lever one.
Yeah.
Well, if you say the breeding, or the name?
Can I not just say
From
Phil
Martina
Lever,
also had
legends?
it, no?
No. You mean Caracas?
Yeah.
from
Caracas
Jos.
of Jos Verlooy. He
Yeah,
got more than €1 million.
Yes, that was super
Was
horse.
that Caracas?
Yeah, he came from Australia, that's right. It was bred over there.
Yeah, Phil Lever's
Yeah.
dad
Yeah,
bred it, I think.
yeah. Caracas, I think he bred. In any case, I don't think he bred enough horses for how good of a
No.
horse he actually.
I still
horse.
don't forgive Phil Lever for stealing my rider all those years ago.
Who was your rider?
Frida Lunga, but she was working
yeah.
for me and he was in love with her and she moved her.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway, that's another story, isn't
yeah.
it?
Other story.
Don't forgive you, Phil.
Let's move over to Cian O'Connor, who was last to go in the jump-off with Kentucky T. And O'Connor, who's really connecting now with success. Second clear in a row now for Kentucky in the 5-star Grand Prix.
He said it's really progressed. He had it in Mexico,
Yes.
didn't he? And it's just getting better and better every round.
I find the beginning it was a bit didn't really figure it out yet, but now it's looked like he knows how to ride it and it's jumping very good with him. Amazing.
It takes a while to become a
course.
partnership, doesn't it? I think some people think it's something that happens overnight. Okay, of course, every horse is different. Sometimes it goes quickly, like with Lily, obviously, but with this one, it took a little bit of time to figure out. But he looks like he's got all the buttons on it now.
I think it's one of his best horses today.
Moment,
Could be a horse for him that has a chance maybe to go to Aachen this year. I think he's all the scope, careful, suits him very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These are the results of the World Cup, the final World Cup out in Ocala at the World Equestrian Center. Final World Cup qualifier. Mimi Gochman, her first ever 5-star Grand Prix or World Cup win in her career. It's a big one. On a horse that she only has for half a year. Then De Menezes, O'Connor, Scott. Then those on time penalties. The fast four from Thieme, Denmark Bloemen, Aaron Vale, Coyle, Philippaerts and all the rest of the field. Down to Brazilian Stefani Machera with Novak de Calvary. That was actually an interesting horse as well. Worth going back and watch that in the Clip My Horse archive. Let's bring up the rankings and the standings because that is what this is all about. Who qualifies and who doesn't. Stay with me. So you have got the Western League and the Eastern League. On the Western League, it is Farrington, Gochman, Crowds, McLean Ward, Aaron Vale, Katie Dynan, who with her time penalty makes her way in, and I have to look down, and Jacob Pope. Jacob Pope also makes his way in. That means no Lily Keenan and no Spencer Smith. They dropped out. They were in the qualifying places before going to Ocala. They have lost their place coming out of Ocala. But on the Eastern League, Skylar Wyman, Carl Cook and Kyle King have qualified. But Kyle King told us last time that he was not going to go. So that place might go to Caitlin Campbell.
Okay.
Yeah, there we go. But Cian O'Connor's result also has an impact on the Western European League. That is this result. Nothing changed in the top 10. So there, from Epaillard down to Jouvert, nothing changed there. But Cian O'Connor has moved up 25 places because he scored big out in Ocala. He's now number 15 and theoretically in a qualifying position with 2 stages to go on the Western European League. You have a question.
He'll need to get points now in Europe, though. He hasn't got any points in Europe, has he?
That's a very, very good question.
I actually know the rule. You need to have at least 1 point in your own league.
Yeah,
'Cause I went a few times to America. He needs to have at least one point. Yeah. to
Has
make it
he?
count.
I don't know if he's got points.
Okay. Just if you keep talking about anything,
I
could be
think
the weather.
He has 30 points. I don't think he has enough. I think he needs to have at least 38 or around 40.
39.
Cian O'Connor had 15 points from London. So
yeah.
he is good.
Ah.
Yep.
Okay.
But I don't think he has enough points. I think 30 doesn't...
No.
is not-
And so now there's 2 stages left. It depends on what the others behind him do on the Western European League. Gothenburg already.
Is he going to the next stages?
And I don't think he's going to the next stages. I texted him, is it a priority? He said, it's not a priority, but if I would qualify, I'll treat it at the moment.
Is there...
And I qualify.
In America, there's none left.
Done.
No, okay.
That was it.
Yeah, don't know. I think, this week is Gothenburg.
Yep. And Helsinki.
So Helsinki, so it's, it's going to be difficult. I think he has all of his horses in America, so...
Yep. But it was
Well,
not.
if I all of them, but-
Doesn't seem to be his ambition.
No.
Shall we go to Doha? Doha, the Longines Arena at the Al Shaqab for a historical night, a 1.5 million euro Grand Prix, first time in the Middle East, such prize money. The Amirs sold, lots of value attached to the prize, but also to the actual prize they sold, as it's part of their heritage, of their culture. The course was built by Italy's Uliano Vezzani. How right did he have it? How wrong did he have it, Joe? And let's straight away also bring up the telestrator with the course plan.
I think he absolutely did a fantastic job. What he's done is built a very difficult course, a big course, lots of things to see in it, but he's given a lot of time to do it, you know? So you can take options. I think it's very fair for big horses and for small horses. You can do an inside line, you could do an outside line. You've got time to jump these big jumps. I think that's really nice to...
Contrary to Ocala, no time penalty issues here. Nobody had a time penalty.
No, but he's built accordingly. You know, he's built big enough jumps with difficult enough lines to get faults. And I think, what did he have? 13 clears? I think 13 went through to the second round.
Yeah, and 13 were allowed to go through.
And 13 clears. And then I think 8 went through to the jump off. So
it was a 2-round Grand Prix plus jump off, so the Aachen system.
Yeah.
Talk us about a few of the rounds that stood out in your opinion, Joe.
I think the two lines that stood out for me, which caused the most problems, was this line here. So you come off 3, you turn back to the wall. You know, we saw the wall last week with the hole in the middle, white wall. And you're coming away from the in-gate, and I think some riders were trying to turn short and give them an outside line to make room to make the 8 here. Or even some riders were doing an outside 9. I think this was a really spooky fence, and now the position they put it made it even more difficult. You know, and some of the horses coming around the corner and getting a little bit of shock there. Then it was, if you rode the middle line, it was an 8 strides. Walked a little bit long. I think Niels told us it walked a little bit long. Niels opted to do an outside 9 because this was a white plank here, which caused a lot of problems.
Came down a lot. Yeah.
Came down a lot. So 1 stride in double with a white plank coming out, and it's quite a special white plank with sort of the middle cut out. Caused a lot of problems. And then a 5 strides after to an oxer. The 5 strides after wasn't too bad. It was more the double, you know?
I think the whole line was all set up for that plank. Yeah. I don't think they were too much focused about the oxer or the wall. I think it's just because if you're a natural, very careful horse, they would easily right up in the 8 strides, jump the combination, you would back off. But if you have a horse who likes to touch the plank, then they would rather pick up the 9. So that's very different for the horse. But it was very smart built from the course designer, because he's been there many years, has built so many times, because it's a ring. The horses jump so good in this arena. The material is amazing, the light is great. So it's not so easy to build a big class there. No, to get not too many clear or something, because it's, I mean, facility-wise, the horses, they jump amazing there.
Yeah. And I think still to be fair as well, you know, he's built enough, left the time enough the riders can make a decision and do things. I think that's a really fair way of building. I like that. I like that style. Good. I think that was one of the lines. And then this line here, you come around the corner to 10, was a big oxer. Quite a level 6. You could balance the 6 to a big, I think there was also a white plank, wasn't it?
Yeah, also a plank. It didn't felt so much.
No, that rode quite well, but then the problems came after. I think it walked quite a normal 8, middle to middle, and then a short 5. But it rode even shorter. I think they were jumping the 11. Looked like the horses were falling a bit outside, so the 8 was getting quite long. And then this 5, because of the water, I think they jumped the water quite big. It was quite a spooky water. We saw a lot of horses spooking here. They jumped that quite big, and then the 5 was nearly impossible for some of the bigger steppers. I think we saw some doing an inside 7 and then 4 strides. And even the shorter steppers opting to do an outside 9, which I think worked very well. And then they could wait for the 5. But you do the outside 9, and then the horses were looking a little bit at the water, and then that's when you kind of run out of energy.
Yeah.
You know, if they had a little look, so you had to really know your horse to know which way to ride that.
Lots of funny jumps on that water.
Yeah.
Strange. I said maybe somehow with the floodlight, it has sometimes different views on Liverpool, but okay. It's not the first week. Many have jumped there many weeks before already, so it's strange that it happened. But I think also, how many horses would have done 4 to the last stride? I don't think so many horses. Or
I do think a quarter of the field.
Was it that high?
10 at least.
10, okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was less than that.
Was long, the 4.
Yeah,
It was very long.
Yeah.
You know, it's just really clever course building. He's
Yeah.
giving you the options and he's giving you the time to do the options.
Yeah.
You know, I think in the beginning of the course, people were thinking that was a normal 8.
Because you're right, if the time allowed is shorter, everybody is forced to come on the inside. But now, because the time is long enough, you've got people that go to the outside, have a different approach, and then everything changes with the vertical and the oxer to finish.
I think the hardest thing was coming in the beginning. This was really a course that if you came later on in the class, you knew the options, you knew the time was okay, you had the time to make the outside line. I think we saw some of the ones in the beginning of the course thinking it was a normal 8, and then all of a sudden having to push. I think the guy that was second,
Khaled Al-Mopti.
so he did an A. I think the A got a little bit away from him, and then he was forced to do the 4. It was a good reaction.
Yeah.
He nailed it. He got away with it, but I don't think that was his plan, you know. And then as the course developed, as the riders kept seeing this, that, then they knew they had the time to make these different adjustments.
Let's see who went through to round 2 of His Highness the Amir's Sword, that 2-round Grand Prix, 1.5 million euro Grand Prix. Abdullah Sharbatli rode the fastest clear, followed by Max Kuhner, Khaled Al-Mopti, Anastasia Nielsen, Janne Meyer, Harry Charles, Niels Bruinseels, Roger Chamas, Ines Joly, Christian Ama with Untouched, and then also Peter de Vos, Yves Jobs and Hassan Senturk. They came back in reversed order for that second round. Order, feels like I'm the guy who sat in the British Parliament. Order. No, doesn't ring a bell?
I've never been in the British Parliament.
Okay, doesn't matter. Let's start with Niels Bruinseels. Niels Bruinseels with Origi.
I think his first round was perfect. Rode an incredible round.
The horse also loves this arena.
Yeah.
Jumps every year he goes here, jumps very good.
But you were saying his build-up is quite unique as well, isn't it?
Yeah, he says also after Mechlin, he sends it to the sea a couple of weeks and sends it right away to Doha, and looks like it suits the horse very good. Unfortunately from this fault actually, because he was jumping in really, really good shape, I have to say.
Yeah.
I think that would suit me quite good. A few weeks at the seaside,
Yeah.
out to Doha.
Might have to try that.
Yeah. Roger Chamas is not the biggest name in the sport, but is a continuous topic in our show. Again, London di San Giovanni jumped another good round, made it into the second round. And here, this was probably the most technical line, Joe, into the combination and out of the combination.
Yeah, difficult, big verticals, very difficult to jump, double of verticals. Certainly coming on a dog's leg like that, you see he lost a bit the outside shoulder, lost a bit the balance, and it makes it very difficult to jump.
Yeah.
But you see that horse has improved week by week. You know, they're going to take a lot of confidence away from this tour, and then
I wonder, this guy, if he has been often in Europe. I've never seen him before, actually. I've never seen him.
He was for a long time with Karim Fares,
Okay.
also a Lebanese rider, now
Yes.
riding for Greece up in north in Holland.
Yeah. Okay.
So he rode there for a while.
Yeah.
Then he produced Humphrey, who now is competing with Kamal Bahamdan.
Yes.
So he's always around.
What a great horse. Wow, it's a very scopy horse.
Yeah.
After this tour, I think he can do some good shows now. Yeah. I was ready to go.
yeah, ready to go.
Max Kuhner also struggled in the same line as Roger Chamas. Kuhner, lots of horses fell a little bit to the inside.
Yeah, it seems. Listen, I think he ran a little bit out of room. He came a bit too much inside, but it's just always a difficult jump to jump, isn't it? 160 vertical coming into a double. You know, that's never easy.
I'm surprised there are not more riders that have added one more stride into this combination.
Because the time allowed it, actually.
Yeah, that makes a big difference, because in a line like that, I'd rather always do one extra side, have it really set up together and keep them on the hind end, because it's so difficult in an open distance to the double verticals.
Yeah.
And another one who struggled in that line, Yves Jobs. So with her fault, she did not go through to the jump off.
So that was really the bogey line, wasn't it? I mean, I think all the ones that...
Except for Niels, we had 3 that were folded in this line. So we went with 13 into the second round, with 9 out of the second.
So Niels was the only one to have that black jump down.
Yeah.
We should talk to him about that. Jump off started with the slowest from the second round. That was Hassan Senturk. Hassan with no comment the Septon weekend of his life. He benefited slightly from the somewhat lengthier time allowed, but then had the fault in on that oxer of Al Shaqab. Next, Peter de Vos with I think we can finally say, or completely say, confirm, fully reborn casual DVZ, no?
Wow.
Is that the right way to put it?
Yeah.
Amazing. If I see the horse, it's been now the last 5-6 shows absolutely flying. What amazing. I always loved the horse, but somehow now the rideability got it improved and the front end got so much better, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he had a very difficult championship and then a very difficult Nations Cup in Stefex.
Yeah, in Brussels.
Didn't enjoy that moment, but I think he learned a lot. And I think he went back, started again, rebuilt everything, and then found a lot out about the horse and everything. And now it just looks better than ever. It looks better than before.
Yeah.
You know?
It's amazing.
You have a little bit of a hand in the success because first he sits here and he says, oh, it looks amazing and it's fantastic. But you also have a little bit of an impact.
No, because like we're colleagues, we always discuss and sometimes, we've got this and that, and we always try to somehow help each other. And I was together with Peter in Verona, you know, because I also had ridden a couple of horses by Conrad, which have a bit of a delicate mouth like it is. And I said, you know, I've had a couple of them, I rode them without flash, and it made a huge difference.
Without the flash noseband, that's
flash noseband, yeah, without the flash. Yeah. Somehow when they can move their mouth, they're much more comfortable and happy. I said, I'm going to try it. And then I think it's some flat work. And then on the end, he jumped it in Verona on the World Cup, had one down, but jumped amazing, really good. And then if I'm wrong, I don't think so, but from that show on, she has been better and better and better and better. Maybe they also changed other stuff, but I find if I see it now, before she would jump a little bit lower with the front end. Today, the balance is up and the shoulder is up, makes a huge difference. I find now if I see her jumping in Doha, it was absolutely flying. It was.
He's got her a little bit more up.
Yeah, she used to be a bit on the verticals, go a bit like this and twist herself. Now the balance is there. She sits and she's like that.
And you think you're responsible?
I don't know.
For that.
Even if it was 2%, I'm happy I could have helped them. But it was only 2%.
If you're riding a cornet and you are watching this. Drop your flash noseband. If it improves, please let me know, let Joe know, and especially let Olivier Philippaerts know.
Send the commission to
Olivier.
10% of the prize money to Ollie.
I'll call Peter first then.
Yeah. The both of you were in awe not only of casual but also of United Touch, of Untouched LB with Christian Aalman.
Yeah. Wow.
Amazing.
Incredible.
Yes.
It's such a beautiful round. He's really found the way, you know. The horse looks so happy. Obviously fits in perfectly. Look at the way it jumps.
I always loved the horse. Even when I saw it last year, he just got it and he was struggling with the rideability. Now it's coming all together. But what a jumper it is. Careful, scopy. Yes,
championship horse.
Yes.
Absolute championship horse.
Yeah,
I don't know if he's on the list for the championship, but this performance puts him out there, doesn't it?
I could be wrong, but I think if we ask him, it could be one of the best horses he ever had. I think if you give it a bit more time, I think it's incredible, this horse, how it jumps.
Yeah,
it's endless scope. Endless scope.
And quality.
It's his type of horse.
Like how he can ride to that oxer with a high pace and he doesn't have to do anything. He just supports him and he still gets a lot of jump. You've got horses that fly over fence and maybe leave it standing, but you still get jump. There's so much internal power in that horse.
Yeah, and still gets the height on the jump,
exactly.
even though he's going it's just so beautiful to watch. Perfect.
It's funny, if you see the horse, you kind of see United Touch a bit in it.
Yeah, definitely.
The canter is a bit the same, and it's like a little bit smaller than United Touch, but it jumps, you see somehow it's something to do with it.
Yeah. And he was back at the stables. Okay, obviously I've seen him live, but he was back at the stables to take some frozen semen. That's such a beautiful horse. And when you walk down, his head, everything about him is nice character.
Yeah.
He's a beautiful horse.
I think I'm going to use him this year as a stallion.
Legend.
Yes,
on Legend of Love.
I saw that. Because
that's a good idea.
Last year he didn't have any semen from it.
Yeah.
And I asked him, I said, this year, I said, I think this is a horse I want to have with
That's
Legend.
a good idea. That would be cool.
Because I love this horse.
It feels already like an episode, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to exceed 1 hour in time, but then we forget about that. We get some breeding information here as well. You have to give it to her. Ines Jolie surely knows how to pick her moments. Really comes out in Grand Prix worth more than 1.5 million. Winner, of course, of the Monaco Grand Prix. Now here in the jump off. Last fence down, you barely see it.
Yeah.
She has the last fence down.
Just touched it. Really lucky. Deserved to be clear.
Yeah, hard jump, far away, and the backhand sometimes gets a bit lost.
To give it to her.
Yeah.
How she produces, collects, gathers, and then also produces results. She brings the horses together and then brings results as well.
Tough jockey. I mean, she's out there to be competitive.
Yeah,
Funny thing is, she was clear in Monaco, 1.5 million. Doha, 1.5 million.
Yeah.
She knows how to manage the right Grand Prix.
She's from, yeah.
There we go. Harry Charles is actually on a very, very good run out in Doha. He won that 4-star Grand Prix, the opener, and then he's always been very, very close. And now again, here, final fence is coming up, and he also has that final fence down. So just struggling with luck there, Harry Charles. Janne Meyer with a very good jumping Chelagon Cascais.
Yeah. Jumped some great rounds.
Yeah, it's also a horse. Tried it, went for the time, but had the 2 fences down. Talking about riders that really know how to pick their moments. Anastasia Nielsen with ESI Rocky out in Doha. 3 5-star Grand Prix under their belt. 1 on double clear, 1 on 4 penalties, and 1 triple clear in this Grand Prix. In Doha, jumped 11 rounds and only had 2 fences down over those 11 rounds.
What an amazing partnership. Wow.
Yeah.
And how quickly.
How quickly. But horses really love to jump for her, you know. She's a great jockey. They love to jump for her. And the trainer, I mean, Cameron Hanley, he's
a legend.
Yeah, such a legend, such a good guy, and such a horseman. I mean, he's one of my heroes in the sport as a rider.
I think they've set up a great team together. Cameron, her manager is very good.
Yeah.
They have the right horses, and now they really start to get at the results. So I think she will, as from Monaco, she'll be going to some championships. I think she may be trying to go to Aachen also with this horse.
They don't have a team, of course,
No.
but as individuals.
Yeah. And as a horse who can jump it.
Yeah.
Definitely can jump.
If he can go to Doha, he can go to Aachen. That's for sure.
Yeah, but it's, you know, having Cameron there, riding the horses, producing.
Yeah.
A lot of people buy horses, they buy, but they forget how important the training is. But not just the training, the management behind it as well. You know, when you've got someone like Cameron who's done it all, been to all those shows, to have that behind you is also really important.
It's the most important. I think Cameron managed everything. They do it very smart because they take someone who has all the experience and sets everything up for her, and it looks like it's going really the right direction.
Yeah, and she's a talented rider.
Yeah.
Seems like that is also something that the Saudis have done really well. Let's bring up the head-to-head. They were both last and second last to go. It is Abdullah Al-Sharbatli versus Khaled Al-Mopti. Recently purchased horses. Deria, of course, much more recently. Diana a little bit earlier. David Will as their trainer. Al-Mopti training, I think, with the Hendricks family in the Netherlands. This is the Grand Prix. These are the rounds, I'm sorry, that decide over that 1.5 million euro Grand Prix. And it's 2 locals. I mean, 2 Saudis that decided with all the Europeans there.
Yeah. It's incredible how you do get a home advantage somehow. You know what I mean? When in Mechelen, you see it a lot as well. The local riders really rise to the occasion, don't they? It gives them another boost, and when the crowd gets behind you, it's a nice feeling.
Fantastic night for people in that region with
and great for the sport.
Yep.
Great for what the shows put on. It's great that they have some local success as well.
It's growing a lot. This the show in Doha. If I see when they built this arena, they have an unbelievable facility, and now you see if it's growing so much the last couple of years again. I think there is a big future for us as riders. Is going to be also being in the Arab countries.
Yeah, and they've got the prize money to attract the riders as well, which is cool.
Historical night for Qatar with His Highness the Amir's sword. The results are in the victory for Abdullah Al-Sharbatli with the Ria ex-Dubai du Cèdre of Janne Meyer and of Julien Epaillard. Dan Khaled Al-Mopti with Diana Duplevaux. De Vos third with Casual. Alman just behind him, 400th. The difference with Untouched. Then Anastasia Nielsen with Rocky. Harry Charles with Sherlock. Jolie Saint-Turk. Maher Zimmerman. Roger Chamas. And then in 11th Bruinseels, Jobs, Kuhner. And then Christoph Kleesner from the first round. Hellström, Lambre, Said. Zanotelli with Dorette. Very good round there. And then Kerfit Puck and Megan Moissonnier. Before we go into the break, this is the prize-giving ceremony. Not at the night itself, but the day after. So there's the Amir's sword on Friday, the jumping, and I think there's a racing Amir's sword on Saturday. And there, the riders were once more honored with trophies and plenty of other events happening there. The actual sword that is designed to look as much as possible as the sword of, I have to be careful, Sheikh Yassim, I think, the founder of Qatar. That for your history lessons. We're going into a break. We'll be right back. Digest all of that. We'll be right back after the break.
Jumasi Van TNLZ, an exceptional sire with over 40 offspring competing at 1m45 to 1m60 level. Like Diana de Plevuzet with Khaled El Motbi, who won the 1m50 4-star World Cup Grand Prix in Riyadh. Diablo, Van Richthof and James Chalk, known for collecting medals, recently won their first 5-star competition. And under Willem Vermeer, Damor JMGZ is a regular contender on the Global Champions League Tour at 1m60 level. Jumasi Van TNLZ, the proven choice for top-level breeding.
She's a real machine. Hi, my name is Daniel Coyle and I have the pleasure of riding Legacy. To be honest, I didn't think much, and then I got to sit on myself and thought, this is a different machine to what it looks like.
Welcome back to the horse show. Ocala behind us and also Doha behind us. Let's move over just a little bit more to the east, to Abu Dhabi, one of the Emirates, the United Arab Emirates, for the start of Longines League of Nations, a 4-stage series that then will end with the final. That's actually the 5th stage in Barcelona. Is it fair to say that with no riders from the top 10, only 4 riders from the top 30, that with the only horse that from the first 7 countries at the European Championships in A Coruña, there was only Dexter there, and from those 7 countries in the final standings of the Nations Cup in A Coruña, only 4 riders were there: Jean Sadran, Sophie Hinners, Pier Giorgio Bucci and Paolo Paini, that it actually was a little bit of a disappointing light field? And if it is, why is it? And what can we do about it?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's difficult this time of the year. We're in February. First of all, we have competitions all over the world, Doha, America, everywhere. People are going to go there because of the prize money. And then, of course, also many want to produce new horses. So it's a bit the time of the year. You want to go to Spain, you want to go there, try to have good 9 years old, 10 years old, get them some experience, get the right ability right for the season upcoming. And also, yeah, it's not easy, and especially in Europe, to at least train for a Nations Cup when you're living in winter time. The weather is not often good enough to train outside. Not easy to set up, I find, and the date, I find it's complicated.
Yeah, I mean, it does give you a bit of an indoor feel. I mean, I understand what you mean, but it is a little bit an indoor feel.
They call it hybrid.
Hybrid, is that what they call it? A hybrid. But I also think it's the prize money as well, you know. When you've got $1.5 million prize money, it attracts the top riders, you know.
Of course.
So you do get lighter fields. Also, like Ollie said, the time of year. It's February. We're used to jumping our first Nations Cups normally in May. Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So it's early enough. The other side of the coin, the chef to keeps get to test some riders.
Yeah.
You know?
The glass is half full for you.
Yeah. I think what we're seeing is it's definitely getting diluted, the field at these sort of shows, but that gives other riders an opportunity. And I think if we see what happened this weekend, there has been some riders come to light, you know. I think on the Irish team, McAvoy, wow, look, they tested her. she answered the question. So Ireland have got a new member of the team. And I think it does give people the opportunity. Also the other way around, they test some people that didn't quite work. So
how did the Belgians survive the first test of the year?
A bit disappointing, I'd say. I think Jos Verlooy's horse jumped well. I think it's one of the first Nations Cups he won. Had one fold. I think he was still a little bit looking with how the horse would react and with depression. But good round. Annelies, amazing.
Yeah.
I think what a great round. Beautiful riding, horse jumped well. And I think I think we will, Peter will use her next of the year with some Nations Cups because she deserves it, and it was a beautiful round. Then
she answered the question.
you have Rick Hemerijk. I find the horse was jumping good, but he didn't have the control right. It looked like when he wanted to hold it, it would go behind him. There was whole miscommunication from the beginning on, and then it was a bit of a struggle towards the end. I think he just had a bad start and didn't really recover from that. So that was actually disappointing. And then we had Willem Vermeer, actually the horse, I think in the first big shows since a while, had an injury, jumped well, just like I think also he had fault on the water, but often when you have an older horse, they jump amazing water jumps. When they're younger, they get a bit less, one extra stride.
Yeah,
that was not good
to the water in the first round.
That was miscommunication.
Yeah, I think he jumped the ox a little bit dead.
Yeah.
And he just miscommunicated. I'm not sure.
Yeah, no, that's for sure. I think he could have avoided that.
Yeah.
And then the plank, on the end of the course that could have happened. But yeah, we're not on the, how do you say it? We're not in good shape at the time. It was just not good enough.
They didn't qualify for the second round. The only positive to take away from it, actually there's three positives. Jos Verlooy's horse hasn't jumped a lot. Annelies, fantastic.
Yes.
And the fact that Willem Vermeer has got IQ back at a decent level is also good for him. Only for the Belgian team.
And sometimes Nations Cups go like that.
Work out. Yeah, absolutely.
You know.
Into round two we go. This is the standings going into the second round. France led, Ireland just behind actually, both on, triple clears. So at least 3 clear rounds. Then the UAE, with only 3 riders, by the way. Great Britain, Switzerland, Germany, USA and Brazil. How did the USA do? So they had in the first round, they lost Kelly Schott with Uricas. They got eliminated. Then Skylar Wyman came in, and this is what happened to Skylar Wyman with Tornado, not with Barclino, with Tornado. Comes through the turn up to the third fence, which actually was raised 5 centimeters, Frank Roteberger told us.
Yeah, I mean, for me, the American team looked a bit inexperienced, a bit nervous riding. You know, we've seen them jumping in America, not making these type of mistakes. I think she just had a misunderstanding around the corner, or is that what you call it?
It looks like she actually somehow changed a bit her mind in the turn, and then looked like she wanted to make an extra one and didn't make it fit anymore. It's just the only thing is when you go to these Nations Cup, I know it happens, but actually it's not allowed to happen. You know, we can all have a mistake, but yeah, of course, these mistakes are very expensive in these classes. Yeah.
I think from a rider's point of view as well, you know, it's a different pressure.
Yes,
you see
very different.
Girls riding the Grand Prix, and they've done a fantastic job and quite smooth riding. And then you put the pressure of the country on top of them, and I think it has a lot to do with it.
It wasn't all negative for the Americans. Let's not forget that Sarah Segal, I believe it's pronounced, and Natalie Dean rode fantastic rounds here. Boreal de Foncombe with Segal.
Yeah.
Wow, what amazing horse. Wow, beautiful riding, jumping amazing.
Ex-Marie Pellegrin. And I looked it up, the horse's results before, and I thought, oh, that's a light combination to go there. Didn't jump that many meter 60s recently. And then Natalie Dean, this is a very young combination. Pedro van der Barle.
I love this.
Amazing.
Yeah. Lovely round. She rides it perfectly, and a lovely horse.
Yeah.
Really clever and quick on the
jump. You also see now there are 2 younger ones that were competing in Abu Dhabi, a couple of younger ones jumping in Ocala. Looks like in America there are very good younger riders coming up. It took them a while because of McLean and all the really strong ones been there for a very long time. But now somehow there's good from the youth coming, I think. It looks like the next couple of years I've got a few strong riders coming.
Absolutely. The Irish decided not to keep Niamh McEvoy on the team, brought in Michael Pender, who didn't jump the first round. All 3 riders on the Irish team all had the same fence down.
Yeah.
All had that 3rd fence down that barely came down in the first round. Trevor Breen, Shane Breen, and Michael had it down.
Somehow it jumped worse. A lot of riders had a problem with it in the second round. Somehow it jumped worse. I couldn't really see why. Did they put it bigger?
Yeah, 5 centimeters.
Okay, 5 centimeters.
And it took the Irish from a potential win actually to second last in the second round. Not the glorious start of the Nations Cup career or chef d'équipe career for Jessica Clark. Not the one that we wished for her. In the other direction was Germany. What a comeback from them. Joe, this man, you know him really well. Peter van het Meulenhof and Daniel Deusser.
Yeah.
Tell me what you said when the cameras were off.
I said, what a wonderful man he is. How kind he is. What did I say?
That this is the round that really convinced you of Pepita.
Yeah, he's always told me what a good horse it is. And you see, he's been playing with a few things, and I didn't always, but the second round, then I went, yeah, this is the horse that he thinks.
You know what I think? Daniel is an absolutely amazing rider. He put this red jacket on, he gets even better.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about, under pressure.
Yeah.
If you want, I still have an extra one here. You can take it home. That's actually Ludger's jacket.
Oh, I'll take that one.
Yeah,
even more than that. I don't think so. No, but those riders under pressure, they grow. You know, that's why they're championship riders.
Yeah.
You know.
We also saw in the middle of those 3 riders of Germany, we saw Sophie Hinners with Lommers. How much scope has that horse?
Yeah.
Phew, incredible.
And what a rider as well.
Yeah. And then we saw Marco Kutscher.
Yeah.
Double clear. There were 4 double clears over the Nations Cup. Marco Kutscher is one of them. I just looked up his results. So he went twice to the Olympics, once with Cornet, once with Montender. He went twice to the Europeans, individual gold with Montender and double team gold with Montender and with Cornet. Now, surprisingly, Marco Kutscher never rode World Equestrian Games.
Oh, I didn't know.
So my question to you is, after a double clear in this Nations Cup, is Marco Kutscher positioning himself as a potential for the World Equestrian Games?
How cool would that be? Have Kutscher, Deusser and Alman. That would be a nice team, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
Strong
but,
team.
today there are many riders has a chance.
There's
Germany.
Koek, and then there is Vogel, there is Hinners, then there is Nieberg Ping Pong, jumped good in Aachen.
Yeah, ping pong, yeah.
Just to get back though, what a pleasure it is to see him back on the top of the sport. That is
Mr. Perfect.
Oh, what a
amazing.
rider.
Oh.
What a rider. He's a dream rider. He makes everything look so easy. I was so jealous of him when I was riding. It's like, because looks...
We've said it a lot, he's very tall, and it's unbelievable how light he can ride.
Yeah. So much feeling.
Organized.
And everything simple riding.
Yeah, organized.
One of the best ones in the business. Even the last couple of years had a bit less horses, but if he has the horse, he's there with the best in the world.
So is that the natural talent? That if you're out for a while because you don't have a horse, you can just come back if you have the horse.
Yeah, I think...
Because you don't need the rhythm to get back in.
When he left Ludger's, he's building his place. Yeah. I think everything sort of came a little bit first. He has a truck business as well, apparently.
Yes.
And I think everything came... Now he's got a horse back on that level. Yeah, natural talent. Yeah. Straight
natural talent, but then also learned his job with Ludger. Learned everything in. With this natural talent together with Ludger, I think they have the best system. And always see, if they have the right horse, he will coming back.
Yep.
Definitely.
Talking about comebacks, also comeback for Brazil. First of all, Pedro Meulaert with Gemma Villers. Before this Nations Cup, the horse never jumped meter 60 class, jumped 1 meter 55 class.
Really?
Yeah, really. So had in the first round had the plank down, second round here the vertical.
Yeah, but jumped 2 really good rounds. Yeah, and he nice rider to see. Really natural rider.
This year for the World Equestrian Games, Brazil, maybe not as known, but they have a couple of very strong riders horse combination. They could have more chance than I thought this year in Aachen.
Because she is one of them. Here comes João Victor Castro with Cashbait, who is coming at stud in Zangerzijde, if my information is right.
He is coming to Zangerzijde, yeah.
So 4 and clear over 2 rounds. And then, of course, Skopje, eh? And then, of course, Luciana Diniz with, what is it now? Is he 17 or 18? 17-year-old, Vertigo du Désert. just evergreen.
Made it look very, very simple. I think went on to win the Grand Prix as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably the thing. The simplest. No martingale, nothing spectacular, nothing
And
flashy.
don't underestimate her. It's unbelievable.
So much feeling. Also,
Yeah.
has been a bit away for some time, but you see, she comes back, jumps 5-star level like it's nothing. Because also experience, but what a great rider she is.
So Rodrigo with a strong group of horses. You say probably Yuri.
Juri, Marlon?
Stefan de Frederik. I haven't seen him in a while.
What about Marlon?
Marlon.
Dorette?
How
How old
old
is Dorette?
now?
Yeah,
Yeah,
no.
16.
Yeah, could be.
But
Jumps
jump
good enough.
very good. Yeah, jumps good.
Yeah,
Haken's true.
yeah.
Yeah.
Guernaken. And
Yeah.
then what else do we have?
It's going to be an exciting championship,
If
isn't
it is happening, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it first here on the horse show. Brazil is one to watch out in Aachen. Switzerland could have won this Nations Cup. Barbara Schnieper, who we all love with Canis, made two very uncharacteristic mistakes. What happened here, Joe?
I think she thought the 3 was going to be straight away there. You know, jumps out of the Ocala, lands a little bit short, and she didn't react. And then here she changed her mind. Two rider mistakes. You don't see her making those type of mistakes.
She knew it.
Happens sometimes.
Yeah.
She landed after the Ocala, 1, 2, and then the horse looked a bit and then just didn't get there. You know.
Yeah.
And yes,
That-
she knew it.
In the last line, it was a 7 or an 8, and she was...
But
7.5.
did she know that what you've just said, that they would have won if she didn't make those mistakes? Not to make her feel worse than she already feels, but
If she didn't make the mistake in the first round, her result counted, and it was the discard score for Duguay, so they came out on 4.
yeah.
If they would have... At least they would have been on the same score as the winning nation, and that
So
was France.
if she wasn't feeling bad enough, you've just made her feel really bad.
However, the Swiss also had something to celebrate. Talking about, you've heard it here on the horse show.
Yeah.
We spoke about Gaëtan Joliat after that Nations Cup final in Avanches.
Yeah.
This is his round. Jumps also double clear. So together with Diniz and Kutcher, that makes him already a veteran of the sport. If you jump double clear with those guys.
What a horse, what a rider. And it's true what you say. He looks so much like Steve on a horse, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Position, elbows a little bit out.
Yeah.
How he makes a jump or sets up a horse out of a turn.
But that's not a bad guy to
Compare
try
with
to emulate, no?
No. Did you know him?
No, I've seen him a couple of times, yes, but what a natural feeling he has.
Yeah.
And
Super.
cool
Yeah.
mind.
Is he working for, what's his name?
De Coulon?
No, I forgot the name, but I don't remember. But yeah.
And does he train with Steve?
That I don't know.
I know, what's the husband called? Ex-husband for Marie Pellegrin. Used to ride.
No.
Used to ride. I forgot his name. I can't think about it.
Marie
I don't
Pellegrin,
know.
if you're watching this, please
Their
send
ex-husband.
Olivier.
I could be wrong, but you also wrote everything, World Cup finals and everything, but I can't remember his name.
if your Instagram explodes, that is because of the whole show.
Daniel Etta, sorry.
Yeah, Daniel Etta.
Is he not working for Daniel Etta?
I don't think so.
Or maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Could be wrong.
Could be wrong.
We'll call Daniel.
Last but not least, the French. You have to give it to them. They came with a team that mattered, with strong riders, with strong horses,
Yeah.
and they very simply delivered. No?
I think they were the team that came prepared.
Yeah, they could only lose it, and
Yeah.
they didn't.
No. They
That
all
was
did,
clear
they all
from the
did
middle.
what they're supposed to do.
Also experienced riders, experienced horses. They really came
battle-tested.
all set up. They were not trying anything new. They say, we go there, we want to go for the win. They were not messing around.
Battle-tested riders. And this guy...
Nicolas Serres. I mean, last week in Bordeaux, his airbag inflated halfway through the course in the World Cup, but now he does deliver, he does contribute to a winning team. And then the Leicester, when he went in, they could have 2 fences down.
3, I think.
2, yeah.
2? Yeah. His first round was exceptional. Second round, you could see was a little bit under pressure, but first round was exceptional. And what a guy to have come in the last place, no?
Yeah.
He's done everything.
Whenever they need him for the team, he always performs. Championship, Nations Cups, they know why they want him on the Leicester on the team.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're all motivated for
Yeah.
the team. I think the French really pull together, don't they?
Yeah.
They all want to win.
Yeah, they're sports people.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So the Leicester, as last to go, secured the victory for France in the first of 4 stages on the Longines League of Nations. France has or have a rail in hand, and even if they had a second rail, they were still faster than the Germans. Brazil, just a bit slower than the Germans, then Switzerland. The UAE, let's not forget, with their 3 riders made 5th, then 6th Ireland, 7th Great Britain, then USA, Italy, Belgium, and of course the Netherlands. Why are there 11 as it is normally a competition of 10? That is because the host nation, the UAE, could also enter a team in the competition, but we will not see them at the next stage. That is in Ocala. Obviously, standings not very spectacular, just the very same as the outcome of the first stage, with France claiming the maximum of 100 points. That is the weekend behind us. There is an incredible weekend coming up. Ladies and gentlemen, clear your agendas, because the Loga show advisor tells you that there are four 5-star shows coming up. Wellington International, the Saturday night under the lights at, I think it's at 7:30 that the Grand Prix begins, local time. Then Gothenburg on Sunday. It is World Cup at 2:30. Then the Sajarulu Cup, they have got their Grand Prix at, I believe it is late in the afternoon on Sunday. And then there is also a Grand Prix in Al Shaqab, which takes place on Saturday. Lots of show jumping to watch. If you cannot watch it all, come to the horse show. We will make sure that you get well informed. Joe, how much chance that if I ring you in the coming month that I will get you on the phone? Is it full focus on the stallion show even more? Or is there anything else that is happening in your life?
There's lots happening. There's lots happening in my life, but yes, it's full focus on the stallion show.
Yeah.
Everyone's getting nervous. Everyone's getting the excitement. So yeah.
Ollie, you are actually going to Wellington, so you will not be able to watch all the other competitions. The horse show is there for you to watch. Wellington to support your brother?
Yes, I'm going there tomorrow with my father. So see how things are going there, and
so you're going to go over there and start jumping some clear rounds.
To win something.
Stop knocking jumps down.
To win something.
It's been a while. So it's been a year since he last won a 5-star Grand Prix. Olivier, thank you very much for coming down to the studio and talking to us. Joe, as always, pleasure to have you. And to you at home, there is a big weekend coming up. It's going to be all over Clip My Horse. So make sure you watch all the action. And if you can't, join us next week on The Horse Show. Bye-bye.